Hey team! All right, let's get into it. So, a reminder that your homework for tonight is to do your log number 3. And again, you can pick any of the options you want. You don't need to do them in order. Just because it's log number 3 doesn't mean you have to do option number 3. You can do 8 or 15 or 20 or whatever one you find to be the most interesting right now. All right, so here's what's up for today. We're gonna, of course, do expectations, and then we're gonna come back to characterization, and we're gonna do a little jigsaw. So we worked in depth with one character yesterday. Today, you're gonna do a little bit about multiple characters. Okay, so of course, being nice in one mic and making sure your part is complete, because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take your characterizations for all the different characters that you do, and I'm going to make them into a big compiled list that we'll be able to use in the future. Okay? All right, so just to review, we want to talk about what characterization is. So it's the way we describe somebody's personality, so the way that we are most of the time, things like thoughtful, kind, stubborn, hardworking, like intelligent, emotionally intelligent, those kinds of things, sensitive, right? So if we look at Odysseus from last year, some of his characteristics would be he's brave, he's smart, he's definitely very cocky, or arrogant, however you want to say that. But he's also very loving, right? He spends 20 years trying to get home to his family. And I want to remind you that emotions are not characteristics. So you can't put things like scared, angry, sad, and we're not going to put things like weird, crazy, etc., because those are not specific enough. They don't make sense. Okay, so here's what we're doing for today. If you were here in person, you would be jigsawing this in person, but because we're not doing that, we're going to skip step number 1. So you're going to pick two characters to list characteristics and find evidence for them, in the text, okay? And then the share out is actually going to be something we'll do a little bit on our call. We'll do a little bit written. You'll have your written thing. And then, of course, like I said before, I'm going to put these all together for you. Okay, so let's look at our characterization worksheet. So this is our worksheet. It's the same characters from yesterday. So Gregor, the clerk, Gregor's dad, and Gregor's sister. Okay, and if we want to, I will add here Gregor's mom as well. All right, so you're going to choose 2. I did his sister yesterday, so I'm going to start with her because I think that would actually be pretty easy. So for her first characteristic, let me think about what I was saying yesterday. So I was saying she takes care of Gregor, she feeds him, she cleans his space, she obeys her mom right away to go to the doctor. So I'm going to say she's responsible. Okay? And then I'm going to look through the story. And again, I have my printed version here. And what I'm looking for is in part 2, actually. And it's the part where she brings him the milk with the bread in it. Aha. Okay. So it says, I'm looking. Oh, no. What did she notice? He had left the milk. I went too far. Okay, here we go. Right at the beginning of part 2, it says, by the door there was a dish filled with sweetened milk with little pieces of white bread floating in it. He was so pleased he almost laughed because he was even hungrier, yada, yada, yada. And then there's one place where it says, she's the one that brings it to him. Aha. His sister had certainly left it for him because of that, but he turned almost against his own will away from the dish. Okay, so that's the quote I want to use. So I'm going to do my quotation marks, and I'm going to start here. Milk. Okay. So if I wanted to go further with that quote, I could. So that's my evidence. And then for explanation, I'm going to say, so Greet takes on the responsibilities of feeding Gregor, cleaning his room, and it says also that she has to help her mom with the cooking. Okay, great. So then I'm going to go ahead and do a second one for Greet, and then I'm going to choose my second character and go ahead and do that. All right. If you have any issues, let me know.